And we're live. Welcome back again, my friends. It's Saturday afternoon. My name is Jeremy Knows, and there's some things I'd like to show you today. We are live on Instagram, on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. Come into my office and strap in your seatbelts for a VeeFriends update. Bring. Hope everybody's doing well. Happy Saturday. And we're going to dive into the podcast. There's quite a bit going on, I will say. Just 2 days ago, I was like, I feel like there needs to be a podcast, but there's not a ton to update on. Primarily, it's just getting people to set up their VeeFriends accounts. And then bada bing, bada boom. And we've got gift goat updates. We've got just art updates, and VCon is less than 4 months away. So it's time for a podcast, and we're going to get right into it. So without further ado, away we go. Good morning, and welcome back to the Jeremy Knows podcast, where VCon never ends. I'm your host, Jeremy, Heart Trooper 7, and Daily V is back, baby. How's that feel? It is January 28th. Happy Saturday. I hope everybody had a wonderful week. Even just a couple of days ago, I was thinking, there's not really enough information for a podcast update. And in just 2 or 3 short days, we now have 2 updates for Gift Goats, an update on the Just Art surprise that we've been anticipating for a full year now, and Daily V is back, which is in essence, just another content pillar where we're seeing the Vayner machine pump out content through 137 and Pure Wow and Vayner Sports and for their clients and for Team Gary Vee and for VeeFriends. It may seem just like another campaign, but it characterizes kind of this new dawn that we've seen coming to VeeFriends that makes me very excited. What does this mean? This means that we're going to get to see more of Gary behind the scenes. We might still get a lot of, redacted information for client meetings as we're used to in Daily V, but it's just like kind of a working pace that shows more transparency on Gary Vee's side. And I'm particularly excited to like spotlight the Daily V because actually the VeeFriends takeover team got a massive shout out in episode 261. So I want to give a special thank you to Andrew Mason, who edited the episode and is a creator for Team Gary Vee. In a clip where I got to see Gary before the Flamingo event in Miami, he actually put my handle on the screen and showed the flyer for VeeFriends takeover, showing all of the community logos that contributed to making this for the community by the community event in December during the Art Basel event. So like, that's just really cool. And I love seeing them like give an affirmative head nod, showing a little love to that community effort, which we were all so proud of. So big shout out to Crypto Radio Network, V Rose, Leaders on Chain, V Minders, Palacultura, VDAO, Shiv IR, and Jeremy Knows. And it's extra special thank you to On Rally Road for being our title sponsor for that event. So super cool. And I would encourage you to watch this episode 261. It's on YouTube. I'll leave you the link in the description. There's a nice little like heartfelt, straight to camera moment with Gary at the end where he expresses some of what I said, that having Daily V back in the rotation is something that he's enjoying and looking forward to capturing more of these developmental moments. Don't forget that this is one of many shows Gary has produced and created over the years. He's still very much interested in bringing back the Ask Gary Vee show and also the Tea with Gary Vee show. As a sidebar, a little bit of alpha that came out recently is Gary is working on a new book. He has confirmed that this is not going to be a book games type of promotion. Like the book games collection is what it is. So fear not in that regard. But the new book that Gary is working on, which is expected to release probably late this year, is Jab, 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 Left Hook. So you are probably familiar with his third book, Jab, 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 Right Hook, which really detailed how to use social media platforms, give, jab, 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 and then ask with the right hook. So he hasn't really discussed like exactly what the distinction is going to be between the right hook and the left hook, but my 2 cents is that it's probably going to be about the, the off pitch, the zig when others zag, watching market trends and looking for that white space where there's underpriced attention. Because ultimately, when Gary is doing speeches and referring to himself, he calls himself a serial entrepreneur. He calls himself many things. But one thing he returns to over and over again is that he day trades attention. And so I expect that to be a big focus of the book, in addition to just sort of like maybe some updated tactics. I think generally the religion of the content and providing value and developing community is going to be largely the same, but seeing some update relative to TikTok, relative to LinkedIn, and maybe other platforms that are on his radar. So that's really cool. Before we get into the news, I want to give a special shout out to Da Vinci Threads. No idea if he listens to this podcast, but he has been absolutely crushing it on Twitter with project breakdowns and threads. And he recently did one on VeeFriends. So he has kind of like 2 modes for his threads. Either he does a project breakdown, or he'll curate the best threads about these projects and put them in one master's thread. So that's what he did here. He says, I have spent the last 6 days reviewing every VeeFriends thread on Twitter, and I'm happy to finally present the 11 greatest threads in VeeFriends history. So if you want to take a little walk down memory lane, I encourage you to check this out. There's threads from Mutant6330, from Zane Gazziani, 2 from me, from Yari Stottle, from Mordecai Jones, detailing how he found the chromie squiggle that was hidden in the VCon collection, Chris Lyons, Steve NFT Bark, and NFT Fruit. So I thought that was really fun, and shout out to all of those in our community that are making content about VeeFriends. So let's talk about the big bites first, shall we? The most important thing is for everyone to get their VeeFriends accounts set up on the website. You probably heard about this in the previous podcast, but we're already starting to see surprise activations for people who are set up and ready to go on the website. It's very, very simple. Ensure you're on the proper site, VeeFriends.com. Check the spelling. It's not .xyz. It's not .io.com. Get there from the Discord. And you do not have to connect your wallet to link and verify your token ownership. Once you go through the process and you go to wallet connections, just select cold wallet. Even if you're connecting with a software wallet or a minting wallet or a hot wallet, select cold wallet, and you'll complete a micro transaction sent to the verify-vfriends.eth account. And that will be enough to link your profile, and then you'll never have to do it again. So you can imagine a situation where if Gary wants to do a video conference with only balanced Beetle holders, you'll just need your email and password to sign in, and it will know that you have a balanced Beetle and give you access. This is sort of just like the first level of surprise and delight that I think we can see. I'm anticipating, because I know that there are at least 5 or 6 projects in development that are coming in the next 3 to 5 months, not including VCon, that there's probably twice that in development, in the shadows, to be revealed as more activations play out on the website. So if you haven't done it yet, set aside 30 minutes. It only takes like 10 minutes really to sign up on the website, link your wallets, and make sure you also connect your Discord. It's up to you whether you want to connect the other social media accounts, but the Discord connect is really important, because that is what will assign you your roles in the Discord and ensure that you have access to the VF1 holder chat, the VF2 holder chat, and the VF holder announcements. There is a new holder role gated channel in the Discord, which is for all holders. So if you are a holder of mini drops, of iconics, of book games, any of those, and you verify on the VeeFriends.com site, you will now have access to this all holders channel, which is really great. And shout out to Corso and everybody on the Discord team for making that happen. And I want to highlight this tweet from Gary V, which is on the screen right now. It says, a lot is coming down the pike for VeeFriends NFT holders. Parentheses, book games, Series 2, mini drops, Series 1 and 2. To take advantage, you need to have an account on VeeFriends.com. If you own and you see this, register today. So this is like the 7th or 8th time Gary has made this ask. It's clearly very important. If you want to get the most out of your token ownership in VeeFriends, you're going to need a VeeFriends account. Now, there was a little bit of speculation, and I definitely supported it, in that book games was the first of these collections to be mentioned in this tweet. I'm not reading into it too much, but I do think that a book games update and possible burn event is on the horizon. As far as what time frame, it's impossible for me to say. But now that the entire website has been Series 2ified, and there's a new color scheme and new interface and these new accounts, I anticipate that the book games exchange is sort of like next up or on the short list of things to be updated. And separately, Gary said that he wanted to do 2 holder token gated video conferences, one with all token holders, whether you had a mini drops or a Series 1 spec, and one for just book games holders, which would be a short meet and greet slash Q&A. So again, there's a lot of iterations of this that they can start to play with once they work out all the tech issues with meet.vfriends, and you're not going to be able to access them unless you have this account. So I'm going to stress it again. Please do set up your VeeFriends account as soon as you can. It's easier to do on a desktop, but it does work on mobile. So there you have it. We've had a couple blog releases in the last few days. Gary is currently in Mesa, Arizona at the Major League Pickleball event where the Fives are playing. I don't really have any on-the-ground news, but I do know that the Fives won both of their matches yesterday, so they're doing well. I believe this is the first tournament league event of the season, of the year. So go Fives. If you made it, if you made it, please let me know. I'd love some like inside scoop. Tag me on Twitter. Gary is in attendance at this one. It's the first one that includes a pickleball scene activation, competitive clown activation that Gary will be in attendance for. And so he's doing a meet and greet today. So I hope that's a lot of fun. The other 2 blogs revolve around where to stay at VeeCon. We are just 4 months away from VeeCon, so check that out. Again, I'll leave it in the show notes. If you haven't booked your accommodation yet, don't worry, you're not the only one. I fully intend to go, and I haven't booked it either. But I think they're wanting to make sure that the promo codes that they secured, the hotel blocks for VeeFriends are used, and those will probably expire a couple months beforehand. Speaking of VeeCon, everybody wants to know, when are the VeeCon NFTs going to airdrop? There's no official date set. Gary did mention Q1, and last year's NFTs dropped on March 22nd, with VeeCon being an equivalent number of weeks away. So I'm anticipating mid to late March is when we'll see the VeeCon tickets, probably mid-April at the absolute latest. But I think they want to give people as much time as possible to secure their ticket and ultimately book travel and accommodations if they don't have it already. The next blog update is really important. I can't stress it enough. Please read this blog and schedule some time to evaluate your safety and security, your security hygiene, if you will. This blog is how to protect yourself from signing away your NFTs without knowing. This has been a hot topic of conversation recently, as we saw NFT God and just this week, Kevin Rose fall victim to a phishing scheme in which he signed a transaction that allowed the scammer to transfer out $2 million of assets in a moment. And I think this hack with Kevin Rose, I say hack, this compromise with Kevin Rose hit a little different because Kevin Rose has been in the space longer than almost anybody. He actually has an intimate understanding of blockchain and smart contracts, and yet he was targeted, he was socially engineered, and he was fooled. He did detail how this happened on his Twitter, so you can check that out. Ultimately, like we've seen time and time again, as soon as he signed the malicious transaction, he was aware of what he had done, and he worked as quickly as he could to save his assets, but he wasn't able to. He lost, half a dozen or more chromie squiggles. He lost an autoglyph, which is the first ever generative art NFT, and more. So thankfully, he was able to save some CryptoPunks because they were not authorized on OpenSea. But it's very important, and I know that this can be a little overwhelming. And I just want to say that the first step is the hardest in this situation. Please diversify your risk. If you're holding valuable NFTs, please separate them into various wallets. So if one gets compromised, you're only ever risking a portion of your portfolio. Go to revoke.cash and cancel any approvals that you don't need anymore. I've been getting a lot of DMs about this recently. Do I need to cancel all my approvals? Not necessarily. But if you're not actively trading these collections, you don't need to have the approvals remaining open. And if the burden of canceling, 50 to 100 approvals on your wallet is too much, it does cost a gas fee each time you do that, then you can always just transfer those NFTs to a fresh wallet where those approvals haven't been made. And the last thing I will say is this was not avoidable through a Ledger hardware device. A ledger is a level of protection. It can protect you from some certain software compromises, but if you sign a bad transaction with a ledger, it is still compromising. And so please do use a Ledger wallet, but understand the differences between these things. There's a couple useful tools that a lot of people are talking about given the recent compromises, such as Pocket Universe and Join Fire. So I will link those for you here, but please do your own research. They are Chrome browsers that simulate what would happen if you sign a transaction. So if you're about to sign something malicious, it will indicate that for you before you do it in the actual thing, sort of like the virtual machine that I discussed in a previous security podcast. So I know it's not the breaking news that we're always so excited to hear, but it really is important to highlight that if you haven't taken measures to ensure that you are secure in the way that you are taking self-sovereignty of your assets, let this be the sign. Schedule 15 minutes this week and just get it done. It's a set it and forget it sort of thing. Eventually, and a certain amount of upkeep is great, but if you do it right, you shouldn't have to be too concerned, because you should never be exposing your high value assets or your vault of crypto to minting contracts or websites that you're not familiar with. So I'll get off that high horse, but please, please, please take that seriously. All right. I've got some fun updates. So the Just Art surprise is very, very near. Couple fun things about this. There was an announcement in the VeeFriends Discord from our beloved Corso in which he shared Just Art surprise is coming. Snapshot on January 30th at 12 Eastern time. See you there. P.S. If you haven't already, whether you are a Series 1 Just Art holder or not, it's a good idea to create a VeeFriends account to stay up to date. Now, a couple interesting things about this. Number one, we've been waiting for this for a long time. We knew the snapshot hadn't happened yet, and now we have a date. I haven't seen a ton of fanfare about this. There isn't a blog post, so I think it's going to fly a little under the radar. It's just 2 days away. But as far as we know, this is a snapshot specifically for Series 1 Just Art holders. And you may be asking, what is Just Art? Just Art is a category of characters the same as mammals, birds, creatures, humans, reptiles, dinosaurs, etc., that is comprised of 13 characters. I'm probably not going to be able to rattle off all 13 off the top of my head, but they are of the like of Suffocate Hate, There's Plenty of Love in the World, Start Listening to It, Macro Micro, Who Was Born in 1997, When You Live for Their Validation, You Aren't Really Living, etc. So if you have any of those Series 1 characters, make sure you're holding them through this snapshot. Please don't take this as an indication to FOMO into a Series 1 Just Art token. We have no idea what this surprise is going to be, but it has been in the works for over a year. So given it's a snapshot, I could imagine that it is some sort of mini drops for those holders. And Series 1 Just Art holders are also expecting a gift from Gary Vee in the form of book games. So Whether or not that is included in this surprise is yet to be seen. But I expect that we will get a blog release from VeeFriends probably later on January 30th or the following day, January 31st. They're usually quick about these turnarounds after snapshots have been taken. So that's really exciting. And congrats to everybody who's holding a Just Start token. I don't know if I said it already, so I think I did, but just to clarify, we don't know if this relates to Series 2 Just Art characters, and my gut tells me that it does not, that if this is an airdrop, that it will only go to Series 1 holders, but my heart tells me that it may have some kind of benefit for Series 2 holders, but it's not confirmed. So I say that meaning the promise is Just Art for Series 1, but I have this feeling that Gary would want to do something for Series 2 as well. If it's possible is a whole nother question, because where we have 13 characters with 40 tokens each in Series 1, we're talking 13 characters with 220 tokens each for Series 2. So that's my take. Gift Goats. While we don't have any details about Gift Goat number 10 yet, it dropped today that Gift Goat holders got a surprise gift in the form of a starter jacket. So you'll remember that VeeFriends did a collaboration with Starter Jacket and the Alert Ape character. And in the background, they were working on this Gift Goat version, which instead of saying alert on the front says gifted, with a print message from Gary that says, stay gifted, with his signature. And on the back is the Series 1 Gift Goat art. So he posted a teaser of it today as someone in the community received theirs. Fun little surprise and delight. And I think, I don't know to what scale these surprises can roll out for all holders, but Gary is definitely supporting this sentiment that he wants to do as much surprise and delight as he can in this next season of VeeFriends, if you will. Also, a little side thing for Gift Goats. E22 gave us an update last week about the Future Art All Access Pass. You'll remember this was the very first Amoosh Boosh that was airdropped in November of 2021. It seems like that project very much kind of like pivoted its focus and attention. They promised a certain number of airdrops and live events around the world. And E posted this comment from the Discord in which he asked, what's the story with the remaining 2 mints for the 2022 token holders? And he said, we will be announcing the next Future Art live event in the UK and the final 2 mint drops for all access art pass holders, which will take place next year in the UK. 2023 is looking stacked with more events incoming. So just wanted to call that out because you likely would have missed that comment in the Discord. This wasn't the VeeFriends Discord. This was the All Art Access Pass Discord. And just be aware, definitely if you're a Gift Goat and you have that token, I think chat about it in the Gift Goat channel. Otherwise, hopefully E22 can keep us posted on the next event. But there are 2 more free mints coming. And as they said, a date is TBA, but a UK event is in the works. So wrapping up here, here's a fun little statistic. Jumpman NFT posted this chart, the percentage of tokens never sold by collection, and VeeFriends actually took the #1 spot. It's not often anymore that VeeFriends is at the #1 of very many charts, but as it relates to the number of tokens held from mint, they are #1 with nearly 70%. 69.92% of holders have never sold the NFTs they minted. And I thought that was super fascinating. He said, one way to measure the conviction of an ecosystem is to evaluate the percentage of tokens that have never been sold. Data in the chart below has been filtered to include those on the main net, Ethereum Layer 1, with 15,000 ETH of volume traded. Safe to say that Gary V fans love their VeeFriends. So that was very fun. And then 2 more little bits of alpha for you before we wrap up. I think I mentioned this in a previous podcast, but Betty NFT shot her shot with Gary V on Twitter saying, I want to see a Deadfellas version of a VeeFriends. What do you say, Gary? And he asked her to follow up with an email. So we might be seeing a Dead Fellas collaboration in the coming months. And last but not least, I want to give a shout out to the V List. The V List is a alpha list, like a degen community for VeeFriends holders. And I've waited a while to put this out on the podcast and other channels just so I could like kind of monitor it. And I kind of wish I brought it out sooner because they really have done a good job. They're led by Jax the dog, Benny Wright, who is an OG VeeFriends holder. They've been hosting this list from the original Series 1 days, and they've now incorporated Series 2 into their community. So the Twitter handle, which I'll link this tweet, is the V List. These are the same folks that run the Moonbirds Alpha List. And, proceed with caution, do your own research. Don't like ape into any project that you see in the Discord. But I've been keeping an eye on it. It's a really strong community. I think Jax has done a really good job of building trust and getting reputable projects, even if some of them are higher risk plays. And they've had some really big wins, Mooncats, which is like not a super appreciation mint, but was a free mint with like a very cool founder in James C. I think they also had allow list for the potatoes meme land mint, which ran up to 3 ETH. A lot of low cost, high risk, or free mints, and they're constantly improving. And I love that they have made space for Series 2 holders as well. So it was long overdue for me to give them a shout out, and I'm super happy to do so. They currently have 612 members, and 309 of them are verified. So check it out. Be aware that you do not need to connect your wallet to get into the token gated channels. So they use Vulcan, which will require you to put a specific phrase in your OpenSea bio to verify your wallet ownership. So if you find yourself needing to connect your wallet to gain access to the V List, red flag, you're in the wrong place. They use Vulcan. And Jax the dog is super responsive and like constantly active. If you have any questions, just ask. So that's the update for today. We've got more and more people making content about VeeFriends. I love the statistic about the conviction in the VeeFriends community. Other founders like Betty reaching out to Gary Vee for collaborations, more communities establishing themselves, sticking around like the V List, and Gift Goats and Just Art getting more and more surprises. As I wrap up here at the end, I want to let you know that for the next 2 Sundays, VDAO is going to be having afternoon Twitter spaces at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. Next week's on February the 5th is going to be a sort of State of the Union. So shout out to all the blueberries and all the VDAO holders in the community. We've been heads down working on other projects and spread out across the space. It's time to get the gang back together. VCon is just 4 months away. We're excited to kind of share some of our plans, but ultimately create a platform that you as holders are excited to participate in. Any DAO is sort of like, it might sound cliche, but you're as strong as your weakest link, right? Like we want to really reinstate the buy-in from members, realign on our direction and take it to the next level, because we have such a strong community there, but attention is scattered. So if you see me calling attention to VDAO this week, that's why I'm really hyped for this State of the Union and what might be possible. Just to give you a preview, we're going to be announcing a plan for VCon, a weekly VDAO specific Twitter spaces, and the sort of road to a refresh of our bylaws and nominating new admins and moderators. So that's just the surface. Don't forget, VDAO does have some VeeFriends. One of them is a FaceTime 5. So I'm very excited for some creative development that we're going to be doing with that FaceTime this year, and so much more. So thank you so much for your time and your attention. It means the world to me. I hope you got a lot of value of this VeeFriends update on a Saturday afternoon. If you like the content that you see here, you can support me directly by going to mint.jeremyknows.com and grabbing a Jeremy Knows NFT for 0.1 ETH. All of the information about that NFT is at info.jeremyknows.com. I'm going to call it up really quick for the end of this live stream. I did do a little bit of an update here on the Notion page so that when you go there, it will show you the latest episode of the website, invite you to sign up for the free text message alerts. The NFT gets you into a separate paid text message alert list. And also, last but not least, a link to our new GM VeeFriends Twitter account. So this is really important. I am no longer going to be hosting GM VeeFriends Monday through Friday, and I have created a community account under the tag GM VeeFriends. It's hard to find because it's brand new, only 100 followers. But because there will now be a series of hosts throughout the week, instead of having to know who's hosting, you can just know that the GM VeeFriends account will host. And we're currently looking for community members to step up and host there. So that's a really fun initiative. And I think it's great to sort of like decentralize that effort. And shout out to the few folks who have stepped up so far. So that's what it is. VeeFriends update on the Jeremy Knows podcast. I thank you again. I've been your host, Jeremy, Heart Trooper number 7, and I will see you tomorrow. Bang. 30 minutes on the dot. I love a 30-minute podcast. All right. I know that we have a lot of comments. I wasn't able to get to them, so let me check it out. First on Twitch. How's everybody doing? Looking good. Yeah, the gift code jacket is really cool. Hey, Instagram. What's up? How do we like on a scale of 1 to 10, how was the update? I'll typically will say that you can listen to the podcast at 1.5x speed and my diction will stay legible or intelligible. But I felt like I was really like talking fast on that one. What's up, Below? There's actually some other updates that I forgot. Gary did call out that he's going to be in Australia, I think in August, but I'll get that in the next one. I love the alternative names for jab, 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 left hook. That's funny. What's up? Cool. Not a lot of questions. Great. How's it? Any questions or anything that I can answer while I'm here? Yeah, 4 months away. Yeah. What's up, Matt? Good to see you, kid. Hey, Russ. Cool. All right. Well, let me get this one posted. It's still processing. Here's something else. I hosted a podcast this morning with my wife, Haley, and we were discussing finding your voice in Web3. So, if you can see my screen, you see that I have it uploaded onto my podcast creator. So I'm looking to post that soon. Finding your voice in Web3. I feel like we really found something special there. Seemed to resonate with a lot of people. So if you want more Haley content, let me know. David Shaw says, I'm looking forward to see the connection between our NFTs and the VeeFriends site. Yeah, make sure you link your wallet. And essentially, anytime they want to token gate something, they just need people to sign in with their email and password, and they can take them into a unique experience relative to their token holding. So I'm excited to see it too. Any word on when VeeCon tickets will drop? Not specifically, but end of Q1 is kind of the target. I think end of March is what I'm anticipating. The last year they dropped March 22nd. So I think around the same time frame is what we think for now. K. Cole says, why do you think the VeeCon ticket artwork is Jack NFT? Yeah, I mentioned this in the spaces the other night. We were talking about, there's so many external factors for the VeeCon 2023 NFT market for this year. Namely that last year's art reveal was was really hard on the market because Gary was hyping up the reveal. A lot of people bought in at what became the peak, and we're basically burned financially on that one. And although we can all acknowledge that everybody is accountable for their own purchases, Gary was very bullish on the art reveal, and he just really misread how the market was going to react. And And the other big external factor is last year, the bottom of the VCon market was zero point 0.2 ETH. And you could buy a ticket for 0.2 ETH right before the conference. But ETH was a little bit higher. So relatively, we were looking at like a $400 to $500 VCon ticket. Now, if the ticket is $400 to $500 this year, that would be like 0.3 to 0.4 ETH, assuming ETH kind of trades sideways here. I actually, right now, I'm a little bullish on ETH. I don't know for how long, but I'd be surprised if the rally lasted to VCon. But I think in the short term, we could see another leg up, maybe even two. So it really depends on where ETH is at. But sticking at where ETH is at now, it would be like 0.35 ETH. And I think what's also worth noting is that that price of 0.2 for last year was with very little understanding of what VCon is. You know, the experience at VCon is now going to be priced in, like the knowing of like how it runs and the quality of the people there, and also like the headliners, if you will, of the conference. So it'll be interesting to see that get priced in. And the reason that I think it's going to be Jack NFT is because all of the branding for VCon so far has been of this like glitch nature. And everybody and their mother wants it to be Xcopy because Xcopy's NFTs sell for unfathomable amounts of money. But if you look at Xcopy's collection, outside of the open edition he did, his 10,000, if he did a 10,255 collection for VCon tickets, it would be the largest collection he's ever done. And I think like, I think there would still be demand there, but I'm just not sure Xcopy is the kind of artist that would want to do that kind of collaboration. I could be wrong. And you know, Gary has a ton of leverage and he has like some Xcopy plasma bears and like, I don't know what the state of their relationship is, but I'm inclined to think it's not Xcopy, and that is wishful thinking, the same way people were wishfully thinking it was going to be Beeple art for the last VCon NFT. But Jack NFT is also a glitch artist who we've seen already work with the VeeFriends team for the one of ones in Series 2. And it would make sense to me that if that collaboration went well, which we have every reason to think that it did because he was super active and like, you know, really excited about the reveal of those NFTs, that they could have been working on this since that Series 2 launch, essentially. And he's the only glitch artist that I'm aware of beyond Xcopy that has a relationship to VeeFriends. That being said, there are tons of glitch artists out there. So, and the branding for VCon could not be an indication of the artwork on the VCon NFTs, but that's my 2 cents. You know, with the limited information we have, I think Jack NFT is a reasonable guess. Yeah, I feel you, Michelle. Would there be a tie-in with the VF2 glitches? Maybe. I don't know. I mean, I could imagine. So here's the thing. Series 2 is not going to get VCon tickets. I just think we're well past that conversation, and I don't think it's even a consideration. However, Gary has a huge number of tickets from his own Series 1 holdings, and I could see a situation if Jack NFT is the artist that he gives a VCon NFT to any glitch NFT holder. I could imagine that just as like a surprise and delight gift. But, you know, as it is, there's no reason to expect anything related to VCon for Series 2 holders. Yeah. All right. So let's see. Feel free to keep asking questions. I'm just going to get this podcast posted. VeeFriends update 128. There were a lot of links I said I was going to include in this one, so it's going to take me a minute. Okay, episode 226. Daily V is back. All right. righty. Bye, Michelle. Have a great weekend. Yeah, only 21 glitches and Gary holds one. And Gary happens to have the only evolving pose one, which is kind of cool too. But you know, I think the glitches and honestly series 2 overall is still very undefined. You know, it's like almost like the actively competing pose. There's only 5 of them. But I think the value proposition is primarily collectible. They'll have, you know, I could imagine them having a special moment of utility, but I would be surprised if the actively competing pose or the glitch utility exceeded the general utility of even a core Series 1 VeeFriend. It doesn't have to be that way, but that's just my impression at this point. Anything could happen, but that's my impression. All right, let's see. There was a lot that I said I would link. So we've got VeeFriends Roundup. We've got pickleball in Mesa, Arizona. We've got new website release. I wish I could see how many people were on Twitter from StreamYard. Oops. Yeah, I can't do Instagram and Twitter live at the same time, which is kind of annoying. So I apologize. I should have said this earlier. I apologize for people commenting on Twitter. I don't see your comments. Maybe I can see them on the replay and I can reach out, but I don't see them live. So sorry about that. Maybe I can actually go to Twitter and see it here. Yeah, so I see there's 3 people currently watching on Twitter. Super apologize that I can't engage with your tweets right now. What do you think will happen with the evolving poses for Series 2 characters? I have no idea. I have no clue. I just don't know. I think a couple of things. I think having a evolving pose and a Series 1 will matter at some point for something. I think the pose element of Series 2 is a factor in the eventual video game that may come in late this year or late next year or late 2027. Like, I feel like one time it was said by Gary that poses are setting up the next thing. And I know that video games is an aspect of this series, but I have no idea on what timeline that's like actually happening. It might be an entirely post VCon thing. Like, I'd love to see them release some kind of mobile game beta before VCon this year, but with all the other things on their docket, I'm not sure they really have the resources. And how we've seen them take like an extended period of time to like reveal iconics and just art and even the international surprise for last year's VCon holders, it feels like they really want to do a video game right. I know that they're all about test and fail and like fail fast, but I don't think they want to fail fast on a video game. I think they want to know it's like their best foot forward. Yeah, Jeremy doesn't know this one, but Gasper, you know this. The entire premise of Jeremy Knows is Jeremy knows he doesn't know more than he knows, or there's more to know at any given time. Yeah, Train. I do remember Gary mentioning the resting pose and saying rest is needed. Again, like the poses are in my mind, they're modalities of the attribute. So like there was recently a post on VeeFriends that was like very philosophical. It kind of read like a mission statement where they referred to the characters as corporeal manifestations or corporeal something, which means like the physicalization of a thing. Like the physicalization of passion is the parrot. The physicalization of empathy is the elephant. And so those corporealizations of these things are not monoliths. They have modalities. They have active competing modalities. They have classic modalities. They have strategizing and resting and evolving modalities. And like I don't know how that factors into utility or collectability or gamification or whatever, but it is a factor. Okay, we're doing the blogs. We're doing the blogs. Almost there. Oh, wait. I think I did that wrong. Yeah, I think I did that wrong. Okay. Cool. Actually, let me move this down and actually okay. Should probably. I actually did at one point prepare like a copy paste podcast description, and I should do more of that. Okay, so that's all the blogs, right? Yeah. So now I want to go to Twitter at Pocket Universe. And let's get join fire extension. Is it this one? Yeah, I think it is this one. This looks legit. Yeah, okay. So, something that starts its Twitter handle with an underscore makes me super nervous, but this is the right one. And then the other thing is YubiKey. I didn't mention this in the podcast, but a YubiKey is very powerful. It's basically a two-factor authentication like hard device. It's a hardware device to improve your two-factor authentication. Yeah, this looks interesting. Yeah, cool. I'm not familiar with ZDead ZDNet, but this looks legit. Looks like these links are safe. Yeah, okay, this is fine. I'm gonna come back to the comments in a minute. All right, let's check it out. Nothing on Instagram. What's up on Twitch? Yeah. Cool. All right. You can go about your day. Feel free. It's just better for me to stay live while I'm posting the podcast, so I make sure it all gets done. But you're also welcome to hang out and ask questions. So, alpha, call it alpha. Oh, one thing I forgot to say about this Just Art announcement is that they actually sent out this Just Art announcement on their text message platform to people that have Series 1 Just Art tokens, which I thought was super interesting. Um, do 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 do. Cool. So we got that. We got that. They don't need that. No. Got it. Got it. Got it. Oh, daily V. Wait, that's not it. Wait, is it not 261? Is it 361? This one. Oh, 621. Oops. Oopsie. That makes so much sense. That makes so much sense. Yeah, jam-packed podcast. Wow. If you're still watching, it'd be really great if you could follow GM VeeFriends on Twitter. Some fun stuff going on there. I think that's it. I don't need to link that. Oh, and let me link. Yeah, I'll link it here at the bottom. Cool. Let me get the. Here we are. I feel like a lot of people don't know that in addition to the holder token gated alerts, I also have a free text alert, which I don't text as often, but try to provide value to as well. So there's that. It's just rsvp.jeremyknows.com. Below. How do I claim my gift goat jacket? I got a gift goat in my wallet late December. Brian, did you connect your wallet on VeeFriends.com? I don't know when they like did a snapshot or of sorts for the jacket. So I would contact Daniel or email experiences@VeeFriends.com and send them an email saying, how do I claim my starter jacket? And in the subject and in the body, say, when you got your gift goat, what number it is, and what's the wallet address that's holding it, and your VeeFriends account username, and they should be able to take care of that for you. Gas Fairy, I missed Checkles because Checkigles. I'm not really sure how to say that. Top Shot on Twitter, it's called the V List. The V List. I was at the Boston event. When you sent it, and I saw it. I think I replied in the chat, and I was like, "Oh, this is cool," but like, I'm not really a fan of like minting on my phone, and I just like, there was a lot going on at the event, so I didn't get into it. And then I saw it the next day at 0.02, and I was like, nice, what a solid win. And now like the guy, like, what is it? What Yanni Visuals seems to like really be doing it. Like, I know, I mean, let's take a look. It was like 0.05 when I looked at it. Check we goals. Okay, so they've come down. Interesting. Yeah, so I see they've come down a bit, but like still 0.02 on a Freeman's not bad. Oh no, wait, this is a scam collection. That can't be right. So just so everybody's like aware of what I just did, I'm searching for this collection, so I'm having trouble finding it, but I knew it was a scam. I mean, this one's obvious because like, why are these tokens here? But the other one was obvious because the volume is wrong. It looks right, to be honest, but like this volume is super wrong. So I must have the wrong collection. Let me go to Twitter. Yanni, I have to go soon actually because I need a shower before I leave, but do better. Really? This guy, there's no I, no Yanni. So this is the Freeman that Gas Fairy's talking about. He shared with us in our JK group chat. So that's a safe way to get to the official collection. So it looks like he did change it. This looks legit. I dig this. I'm not really sure what happened. So yeah, 03 wrapped offer. It's nice. So see, like, so I searched checkagles, but it's actually meme editions, and I could have gotten totally wrecked. But now I can see not only did I follow the original artist's posts to get to this collection, but also I can just tell this looks a lot. This makes a lot more sense. These valuations are more what I'm expecting, and the volume really matches. Like, so always check where you're at. I could have just bought a fake collection, and that wouldn't have been good for me. Let's see. There's been some Women in Weapons and Amber Victoria merch collab this week. Link on the World of Women Discord, 10% discount for holders. Nice. Yeah, see, so many artists are doing this like open edition burn sequence, and I'm actually interested in it too. That's why I started my on-chain charms collection, which is like kind of a side project, but I think it's going to be a lot harder to sustain demand for these than people realize. But we're in a semi like mint and print kind of season where a lot of mints are doing well, and then volume is just moving on. I mean, like look at what's like A Kid Called Bees. Sewer passes are up 3x almost. Checks are doing so well. Punks and Bored Ape are kind of stable. Memes had a pump last week. I'm interested to see these coming down. These opened up. These villains were like highly anticipated. Obviously, they were free mint, so kind of makes sense. But I think they opened up at like 0.35 and went up to 0.6. Now they're down. So that's kind of interesting. I was also watching Skybrook, which I got into. I am amazed that this is still holding. Like, so I got one of these for free, and it has a 1.5 ETH floor and a 1.3 ETH just like on the table. It's like really tempting. It's really tempting, but like I'm curious about what comes from that. How's this one doing? Yeah. 5.2 on VeeFriends. Iconics. Have Iconics had any sales? Oh, they actually had a couple sales. Wow, somebody bought the skunk for 1 ETH. Interesting. There's been actually a few sales. Okay. Where's the Harpic? There. Yeah, interesting. Cool. And where's it at now? Yeah, 0.58. Okay. The tiger. This tiger is like way too close to the floor. I like this one too. I like this one. Lion, gecko, kudu. Ooh, that's tempting. Not that I really have the liquidity to buy it, but it's tempting. Nice. I've got mine listed for 5.5. If anybody wants the Heart Trooper. All right. Anyway, so that was fun. Let me post this podcast. I think this is all good. Tons of links. I think I linked everything I said. Let me do. Okay, cool. An awesome episode. I feel really good about this episode. Okie dokie. Cool. Bada bing, bada boom. Yeah, I think I can close all this. All right, folks. That's the show. I hope you enjoyed it. Hey, Leslie, we're just wrapping up. I'll post this in just a second, but I just posted the podcast, so you can go to Spotify and listen to the update. It's all there. Shout out to the 3 people sticking around me finishing this. That's cool of you. And shout out to the 4 people on Twitch and the 3 people on Twitter. Nice. Sending you lots of love. Hope you have a really great day. Thanks for tuning in. Bye, Instagram. See you next time. And thank you for watching. Have a great day. Bye-bye.